Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm trying this new format. Y'all like it, if you like it or not. But it's been a lot going on, man. There's been a lot going on. The past couple, I guess, 2 weeks, I've been working with George. George, I told you, got the young cat. He's from Cameroon, and he took the assistant manager position while the other manager that I told y'all I despise, she's out on vacation. So he's been the one filling in for her. Yeah, so everything's been okay, I guess you could say. He has moments where he asks me for advice on certain things and how he should handle a lot of things, and I always tell him, bro, just do it the way God wants you to do it. Use your heart. Okay, don't turn yourself into a corporate stooge and have everybody just not even wanting to be in the same building with you. Try to be understanding. Trust your team. There was a moment where Janet, the main manager, she had told him, "Hey, man, good job on your food costs." And she asked him, "What do you do different?" And he tells her what I told him. He goes, "I just trust my team." And you know what Janet told him? "Don't do that." She says, "Oh no, don't do that. You don't trust your team. You're supposed to basically just keep parroting the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, so that if people come down on you, you have the backing of, well, I've been telling y'all every 5 minutes to use your scale. I've been telling you every 2 minutes to do this or do that." You have that in your back pocket instead of saying, you know, "I trust my team and I let them know how important it was that we're losing food." So when I heard that, I laughed. There was another altercation where George did not know how to deal with disrespect from those young ladies, Madison and Alyssa. Alyssa is a Caucasian girl that, like in Hustle and Flow, she thinks that she got more street credibility or more black genes than a nigga. Her voice is very annoying. "Joe, what? I don't even know what. I don't even try to like eat." And she's 17 too, so try to give her a break. But that's how she sounds. "Joe, you want to stretch this dough? I don't know. I don't even know how to do that." And it's like these people, man, they're so young. They ain't even done enough living yet to know how to complain. They don't even know how to use curse words and profanity. They just mix it all together, and it sounds so stupid. But they had a moment in which they were in the back, and because I was in the restroom and I hear loud music being played. I'm like, what the hell is going on over there? I come out the restroom, and sure enough, Madison and Alyssa got these Mexican drivers dancing. Quite ridiculous. And I just walked on past like, I didn't see it and acknowledge it or whatever. I don't care. And George tells me later, he says, "Hey, man, I need your help, bro. What the hell do I do about that shit?" I'm like, "Dude, you're going to have to let it play out, bro. You're going to have to let it play out. That's part of being a leader. You don't open your mouth every time something goes wrong." A lot of managers would think that's the right thing to do. Anything go wrong, stop it. But that's not. That creates somebody who you're going to make people go against your word because of how leading them, how you're instructing them. They gonna be like, well, shit, if he this, and this, I'ma just take the damn food. I'ma just take the drink. Even though that's what they were doing. And see, George is the same age as all of them girls. 19 years old. And so I told him, like, dude, you're gonna just have to, if you try to force, you know, some type of standing, don't like them. They're all these different things because they don't know how to be. Where you had a heck left, and now it's just tell a lot of these kids anything. You have not lived. So, you know, with the whole laugh, no, I don't normally sleep like that. I don't normally sleep that good. I don't. Once I did that, I won't have to buy bud anymore. Once I told myself I didn't need to buy actual bud anymore, and I bought like 2 or 3 more. Those things are expensive for one. I'm getting some of the worst fucking headaches you could possibly imagine in the middle of the night and at work. Cluster headaches naturally, probably once or twice a month. I cluster headache. Normally, if I try to like, if I smoke weed or something, then smoke tobacco, knowing I'm pissed tired, and then I try to, you know, go to sleep, just roll over, I normally, not a cluster headache, but a bad. This shit here, man, it had me to the point where I was like, dude, I am waking up and having to take so much medicine just to get, it got to the point where I was like, dude, what the hell is going on? Now, look, I know I'm somebody that I've already admitted to myself and, you know, out loud that I'm somebody that my body, I'm not supposed to smoke at all. You know, my brother and all these people out there, oh man, you just got to get, you know, this, and this, man. No, my body is not supposed to indulge in that stuff. And since I do, I get headaches. There's not a pill or anything that I can take to permanently reduce the headaches. There's nothing. The only thing I can do is stop. So, for the past probably 2 weeks, massive headaches, and have not gotten a lot of sleep at all. And so I told myself, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna go back to, you know, smoking the flower, but then we're just gonna, you know, put it in papers, you know, try to leave the tobacco out of it. And I must say, taking tobacco out of the equation, massive, when I say massive, but a slight increase in energy and stuff like that, healthy energy. The only tobacco that I have is a Black and Mild, and people go, man, that Black and Mild, that's worse than a cigarette. Yeah, but, you know, it's really a pick your poison type of deal with those two. You know, anyway. So, you know, I went back to the flower and stuff like that, and I feel fine right now. I feel okay. I could tell that it was from the resin. I don't know. I think it was just maybe the fact that the resin is just too much. It's too strong, because I ended up getting, they're called pixie pods. And I ended up getting the one, I think the first one had to be like maybe 50 something percent THC, HCT, and all these other TTs and shit. Boy, people cannot drive. People are so timid. and just scary. Ugh. But I tried that one, and again, the first one was the best one because that was the one that had me fully functional. And then next thing I know, I was like, well, I'm gonna go try a different one, and then I tried a different one, and then the last one I tried, or the last two, were black. They were black, and then the other one I got was white. These people, dude. This is why I appreciate you. Now, I know I told y'all my brother got into a wreck, but this be the type of stuff I'm talking about. Just this timid driving. He's gonna cross the street. God damn. But anyway, and so the last one I bought, I went into the smoke shop, and I always say the same shit. What's the strongest thing you got? Because a lot of this stuff is just the same shit. It's like Coke and Pepsi and all that, all under the same company. There ain't none of them doing really more than the other, because you're not allowed to actually put real weed in this shit. Let me say that again. You're not allowed to put real weed, sell like how, how the dope man used to have it. A lot of that dope is like, God damn, dude, where'd you get this shit? And it seems like the powers that be or whatever were like, oh man, I heard that they like a lot. I heard that they like crystals. Okay, so let's manufacture some type of like white crystal looking substance and put it on there, and that shit tastes like copper. You ever had a penny in your mouth or smell a penny? Tastes like copper. That's what that shit smells like. It smells real chemically. It's just gross. So, yeah, man, them things are in my bag. They will not be touched. Unless the world is ending or something, and I really need it. But other than that, I don't have time for those type of headaches. I was having to literally double up on my meds. So that's, instead of 2 migraine relief, 2 sinus relief, no. Now we're doing 4 migraine relief, still 2 allergy relief, and then it'll just keep stinging. So then I'll do the ibuprofen, and it'll keep stinging. And then I'll do another ibuprofen, 2 more ibuprofen. And then the sting is still there. But now it's starting to feel like a bang. If it's a bang, then that's a headache. So that means I gotta go in for 2 more migraine relief, 2 more sinus relief. By that point, y'all, I'm amped the fuck up. My body has literally been triggered falsely to wake up out of nowhere. Now I'm just like gung-ho. I'm and again, it's sometimes, man, I used to cry. I used to wake up in the middle of the night like that and have to take the meds like that and start crying because I knew I was so tired. I knew that I wasn't prepared for the day that I had in front of me, and that I was just barely hanging on. And that shit, man, it just really, it really makes you age, and it makes you walk around during the day frustrated. Again, when you don't have air conditioning, everything that you do, there is no recovery, because when you finally get a chance to go inside of a air conditioned, I don't care if it's a car, a house, a building, whatever, if you feel how I feel, your body starts to feel the healing process of like something cold being around. It's not an ice bath exactly, but it kind of acts as a representation of letting your body heal under a certain temperature, where when you outside all day, the moisture and the humidity, it just strips whatever hydration you might have, makes you frustrated. A lot of the feelings, unless you go into a deep sleep, you're not gonna wake up feeling that feeling of like, man, I got a little pep in my step. No, you're just gonna be like, and because I get a decent amount of sleep, I wake up with probably, if I was a phone, I'm probably at 80%, 75, 80%. If I had a phone charge display icon on my head, I would be at 75% every day, because I'm not in the air. I told y'all, when it was the winter time, man, I couldn't sit the fuck down, because everything you do, you're in a healing process. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. So once you go under that healing, under that air conditioning, then you start to feel a lot better after all the shit you do every day. So that's been a update on my health. I did also get a chance to see the rapper TK. I'm not sure if a lot of people know him. I didn't know of this kid until I moved out of my parents' house and moved in with my partner and his nephew. And it was there that they would, listen to a lot of this type of music. And I remember it was, during COVID where they were talking about him and the violent nature of his rap style and blah, 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 boo. Well, then I heard he went to prison and didn't hear anything from him since. And it was certain guys like Young Thug and TK and a lot of these other dudes. I forgot their names, but I was like, man, where'd those guys go? I ain't seen them on any social media platform as far as like their court hearings or anything. Are they free? And well, I'm on YouTube, and shout out to the channel Seti Nash. I'm watching Seti Nash, and he say TK gets 81 years. And I was like, man, look, I know the energy that got put out for this dude was, it was felt in the universe, because I felt for him. Like, 80 years? Damn, dude. I mean, just to look at him in his face and stuff like that, it's like, damn, dog, your life is over. Your life is over. He will never, the dude will never see the light of day. And so that was very heart-wrenching to me to see that TK, young black man going down, man. Going down for the long haul. Shit, man, that's crazy. Gonna be going away for a while, man. So let's segue into what I'm doing now. Of course, you guys know this sound. I'm going to go wash clothes. But I have, I guess you could say, more pressing matters on the horizon. I received a phone call yesterday. My dad tells me, hey man, somebody gave me this number and gave me a case number and told me to tell you to call. So I was like, all right, I'll call. And I'm thinking, like, who the hell then went to jail, and who knows my number, let alone my dad's. So I called this morning I get a phone call from a guy that says, hey man, if you're still interested in the puppy, I could bring him by. And I'm like, oh, well, I just thought, because the only reason I was going to get it was because of the rodents. I'm tired of the possums. I'm tired of, really it's the possums. The possums, these baby possums, I guess they're blind, deaf, and dumb, where they, the tent is on top of on a fence, like a wall, a wooden fence wall. Somebody threw a bunch of fence shit over there where I'm at, and I used it to keep the tent off the ground. Well, some of the fucking possums, I think it's 2 of them, they're babies, and they just wander under there. And when they wander under there the other day, I came home from work and I moved my bag out the way, and I seen that there's a hole. Somebody didn't chew through the bottom of the fucking tent. And I'm like, no, it's like all hell's breaking loose now. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna find me a cat. I'm gonna find 2 cats that I can leave here at the crib. Just give them, put the fear of God of, something is around this property that if you think you finna pop your head in this tent, you finna get it chewed off. I told y'all about the time I came home and I started relaxing, and man, I'm sitting there chilling. Next thing I know, a fucking rat, probably about half a foot, like 6, 7, 8 inches. I don't know. Pretty big. Rat runs across my leg, man. Runs across my lap. I'm sitting on the ground in the tent. That's another thing about this tent I don't like, is that I don't get to stand up, and that shit hurt my neck and back. But I was like, oh, hell no. Man, I could have destroyed that tent. The way I jumped up and raged out and all of that, I was like, oh, man, I can't allow this shit. So, 1 second, guys. So, I say, you know what, we're gonna just get a dog. We're gonna get a dog, some cats. And instead of the companionship, y'all finna be trained to catch rats. I gotta wipe my face off, y'all. I done got way too goddamn sweaty. So I don't really want to make videos when I walk, especially in this fucking heat, man. It's crazy. But so the guy, you know, was like, hey man, I'm at the Walmart, where you at? And I tell him like, hey man, I'm on my way, just give me a second. You guys, in about probably 10 minutes of me walking to Walmart, I just stopped and told myself like, no, I can't. Mind you, I had already woke up, you know, just kind of in a mood of like, I got to start cleaning up, picking up trash outside and stuff like that. And when he called me, I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll be there in a second. And I just started going through it in my mind of like, bro, do you really need this right now? I had literally just sat down, took a bird bath from walking back from Walmart, took a bird bath, and was like, man, do I really need this right now? And I told myself, no, I don't. And I felt like a piece of shit. I texted him, I was like, man, look, I told him, I said, look, I jumped the gun, bro. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he, like I was expecting, was like, okay, well, can you at least send some gas money? Now, mind y'all, I don't know this person. Didn't even get a chance to meet him. And I could have came up with all type of excuses. Oh, man, nah, I didn't want to, no, look. I could have ghosted him. I could have blocked his number. I could have did all of that. What y'all think I did? What you think I do? I gave that man his money. I paid him $10 begrudgingly. I didn't want to do it. But I just started thinking, this is what I talk about when I talk about people being pieces of shit. How many people do y'all know would have made an excuse as to why they could not pay that man for coming out there, giving me a dog and all of that? How many people would have said, man, I you know, just turn their phone off or block the number or whatever? I didn't do that. No. Because I felt that, I told y'all, part of being spiritual is you feel it instantly. So I felt that shit in my heart instantly of like, dude, I'm so sorry for making you do this. I wasn't as ready as I thought I was. Because y'all have to think about it. Every time the dog goes to the restroom or anything, I have to clean that up. That's going to cause more flies. That's going to make me use more resources to then have to clean up not only my mess, but the dog's mess. And so what I told myself was, well, I'll just try to board up, block off the access to underneath the tent, put some bricks and, you know, some different stuff down. And that's what I did. So hopefully we're gonna see how that holds up tonight. But that was a moment of character. I may not ever get a reward for that. I may be punished for that, for making that man do that. But I know one thing. I'm going to do what was laid on my heart to do, knowing I was supposed to do that. Which is, I sent them $10. It ain't much. But I don't have that guilty conscience of like, I made somebody drive all the way out here on their dime, not mine. That's what accountability is all about, responsibility. Being a stand-up guy. Honest. Meanwhile, I hope they don't copyright me for these stupid ass songs. When I ran out of money from buying all of these, and I really wouldn't say it was from from those pens or whatever, but a large amount of money went toward those pens. And I ran out of money and of course needed help. And I could have made it, but what had happened was the Bank of America card, they had took the maintenance fee. And everybody knows about the maintenance fee, just creeps up on you. That's $20. And when they took that $20, I had went into Walmart thinking I had a certain amount of money and I didn't have it. So I had scanned everything and checked my card and it was like, negative $6. And I just told myself I'm so disappointed in myself. And so this is another situation where you got to be mindful of how you treat people, because some people can come back and be the same person you didn't like or didn't want to talk to or didn't want to shake their hand on a day that you felt like you were bigger and better than them. That same person, you might need their help. And that was what happened with me. My old boss at Walmart, Edwin. I told y'all, Miss Pat, I used to work with Miss Pat at the door, and Miss Pat would tell me, oh yeah, man, Edwin said he saw you at Walmart, at the gym. And you know how black people do when they say, if black people say your best friend anything, that's probably somebody you don't like. So she was like, oh yeah, your best friend Edwin said he saw you. And I was just like, all right, whatever. Well, one day I was doing deadlifts. I think it was the day before yesterday or the day before that. And I looked over and just so happened to see him. Didn't say anything to him because I was working out and he wasn't even looking in my direction, but I was like, oh shoot, there he goes. Well, this same guy that I told y'all when I worked at Walmart, you would have swore I was the only employee there. Every day this nigga was telling me, okay, Charles, we got too many baskets in the parking lot. Charles, where your work vest at? The same shit that I go to Walmart now and see these people not doing, every day it was something with me. Hey man, last night you left some baskets in the parking lot. Next time I'm gonna have to write you up. Like, if I go to Walmart tonight at midnight, it's gonna be baskets and trash in that parking lot. But I told y'all, there's a triple standard for me. It's almost like everybody. Not everybody, but most people are NPCs. They don't really serve a purpose. They're just there in life. Maybe in their own little world, in their head, they're like, man, my life is important. But it's really not. So, I ran out of money. And I told Edwin, I said, hey, man, look, bro, I'm so sorry, man. It was like $3.25 left to pay. And I'm like, Edwin, dude, I'm so sorry, man. Like, can you help me pay for this crap, bro? Like, I thought I had enough money. I don't. I'm upset. And he politely took his card out and helped me pay for it. And that was, he didn't have to do that. Because I told y'all, man, like, I don't work there no more. He's not obligated to do any of those things. But because I've been respectful, because in the past I didn't hold anything against him as far as like, oh man, I don't want to talk to you no more, nigga. What I gotta talk to you for? You know, he is a little corny and shit like that. But other than that, there was, you know, I could have took that route. I could have took that route and disrespected him. But then look what happens. Turn around, I need your help. You know what I mean? And so here goes with Steven. Steven, I told y'all. Steven, Steven did not have to help me at all. He didn't have to help me. So I literally, and I've done this a lot, where I'll come in there and I tell myself, if I don't see Steven, I'm not going to get nothing to eat. If I don't see Steven up in here, I'm not going to get nothing to eat. I'm not going to get my medicine. I'm not going to get anything I need to help me move along. And sure enough, I saw him when I walked out. But then I had went home because I had already barely enough of what I needed. So I was like, I'm not about to go to this car and ask this dude for nothing. And I have just enough. I told you that's part of being spiritual, is that you have physical ailments, so you can't overindulge. You have literally just enough money, so you can't overspend. And then I forgot the third one, but yeah, these are the things that Steven. I said, hey Steven, Lord, Steven. I called him right before I left, and I said, hey man, you at the job right now? I want to come and give you your money. Y'all, when I tried to give Steven the change, he gave me $20. When I tried to give him the change, he didn't want the change back. He put the change in my hand and was like, bro, oh fuck, no. See, I'm talking, I forgot to put soap. But he was like, Charles, keep the money, and I was like, no. So he let me keep the change. You know, it was like $11 or something like that. He let me keep it. And so yeah, I don't have to pay him back. That's not on his mind. He makes more than enough money to move on. Y'all think I paid him back? Y'all think I'm going to pay him back? Y'all know how many times I could throw I'm homeless? I don't have a house, I'm homeless. Y'all know how many times I could throw that shit at people just for people to say, hey man, I don't give a damn. You asked me for some money, dog. You asked me for help when I couldn't help you. And now you turn around and you want to make excuses when it's time to pay up? Fuck you, CJ. I ain't paying you shit. I ain't never helping you again. Who wants to hear that? You know? So after we wash clothes, we're going to have to go pay Steven. Spending. So then I called the number back today. And when I called the number back, this is somebody who called, they called me and said, hey, are you Charles Edwards? Yeah, I'm Charles. What's up? Oh, okay, well, we have we have a case number here, blah 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 blah, and we're contacting you about fraud that back in 2023 you had an account with Chase and you were supposed to you received money from Speedy Cash and something with Chase, and is this you? I'm laughing like, dude, get off my fucking phone with this crap. Get off my phone with this crap. And he's just like, well, I'm just saying, it's 400 and something. And, do you have a job or anything right now? I'm just like, yeah, I got a job with, basically preparing myself to hang up on him. And he's just like, okay, well, it's only 400. Like, dude, my phone sitting around. I'm not going to make no payment to nothing. And so he's just like, okay, well, if you don't make the payment, then it can just, it can do this. And I'm like, bro, I don't care. I don't care, dude. And so when I was getting ready to make another video, these people called me and was like, is this Charles? I was like, yeah. Like, hey, we're calling you to you that
to tell you that, you know, we're going to come by your job and we're going to issue this court warrant, court thingy or whatever, and so on and so forth. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, it's just like distraction after distraction after distraction. All this stuff keeps coming up. And I'm just like, dude, y'all can go to my job with that shit if y'all want to, bro. You're not going to get anything out of me. Put the warrant out for my arrest. I don't care. You know, like, let's go ahead and get this shit off. So I've literally just been kind of stressed as far as just like moving around and waking up thinking I'm gonna just play the game and chill out. I'm getting calls for dog, for, you know, it's just been a lot, man. So I said, fuck all of it and just go wash your clothes. You know, take care of what you gotta take care of, bro. Because I think I'm gonna have to buy another tent. Because I mean, like I said, man, that shit is hell. Just sitting in that hole hunched over like that. I don't like that feeling, but we'll come back with another live later on, man. You know, tell me